If I could pick any celebrity to choose a movie for me every single day, I feel like I would choose Andrew Garfield. I don't really know why. I just feel like I trust him. Oh, sorry, my phone's ringing. Just one second. This is very rude. Hello?
Hey, who is Andrew Garfield?
Who's Andrew Garfield?
Baby, I swear it, I wanted to call, but on my way around.
I am not going to be introducing Andrew Garfield. You know who he is. He is your auntie's cousin's boyfriend's mother's favourite actor. One of my favourite actors too, and I feel like he's just universally liked. I've never met a person who doesn't like Andrew Garfield. And I know this is a little bit controversial, but he might be the coolest Spider-Man. I'm not saying he's the best Spider-Man because I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, but he potentially might be the coolest Spider-Man. Please don't attack me. Thank you. Thanks. My first introduction to Andrew Garfield was obviously Spider-Man, and I kind of fell in love with him from there. And I feel like if I could look like Andrew Garfield, I think I would just be happy for the rest of my life. This guy is in his 40s and he looks like he's in his mid-20s. How is that fair? It's not fair to that, like... Come on. He seems like a very cultured man, and today we're going to find out how cultured he really is, because in this video, if you can't tell by the title, we're going to be watching Andrew Garfield's favourite movie. And from doing my little bit of research, there are 5 movies he really loves, and I'm not going to be watching all 5 of these movies in this video because I just feel like it'll be way too long, but I'm going to watch one of them. I'm going to move over to my laptop, spin the wheel, find out what movie we're going to be watching, develop our parasocial relationship with Andrew Garfield, and let's see if we could be potentially best friends in another life where I look like him and we're best friends. And yeah.
A 13-year-old boy wishes to get bigger in size with the help of a fortune-telling machine. When he wakes up the next morning, he discovers that his wish has been fulfilled.
What department did you say you were in?
Oh, I'm in computers.
Computers?
Yeah.
Just save me.
I'm recording this before I record the intro to this video, so if you see me have very long hair, it's because I'm recording this part and I'm going to record the intro tomorrow after I get a haircut. Thank you. I think in every single way Andrew Garfield is definitely a family man, because this movie is extremely wholesome and it's definitely a perfect movie to watch with your family, to watch with your friends, because in every single way it is just heartwarming. And maybe Andrew loves this movie because it came out during his childhood and he looks back on this movie in a nostalgic way, and I really enjoyed this movie. This was a lot of fun, and I feel like I would have definitely loved this as a kid because I always wanted to grow up faster. Like, I vividly remember having conversations with my granny being like, when am I going to get older, because there's so many things I want to do. I want to have my own money, I want to have my own car, I want to go places, blah blah. And this movie just kind of put me back into that headspace, and I remember exactly where I was. And now that I'm a grown man, it's kind of like fun and kind of like almost bittersweet to look back on those memories, and it's quite nostalgic. And I think this movie is just suitable for everybody, for kids because it just kind of reassures them that being a kid is so fun, but also for adults because it makes them question, what does it mean to be an adult, and when do we kind of lose our childhood innocence? When do we grow up and put on the suit and tie and kind of just leave everything behind? But I think at the core of this movie there is a very interesting question that makes us kind of like reflect on our own lives, because I think it's very easy to just kind of let go of the things that we loved as children because adult responsibilities get in the way. And I think that's just inevitable because we're adults and we're going to have responsibilities. And usually with movies like this fish out of water concept gets quite boring, but I think Tom Hanks absolutely carries this movie in such an incredible way. His performance really just did not make this movie drag, and I watched the extended cut, which was 2 hours and 10 minutes. I think the movie just did not feel stale. It kept going and didn't like commit to one bit for too long, and it just made the movie seamlessly fly by. And I love when a movie just understands pacing, and yeah, Tom Hanks really helped with that. Also, I don't think I've ever seen Tom Hanks look this young in a movie. It almost felt wrong in a good way. I suppose. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? So when we're talking about the performances, Tom Hanks just gives an incredible performance, convincing us of the wonder and awkwardness and the innocence of a child in an adult's body. And I feel like the film balances slapstick humor with really clever situational comedy, especially in a workplace, and it doesn't really linger too long in scenes, in settings, because it can just get boring so quick. But this movie just understands when something is just a little bit boring, when something's a little bit dry, and it just gets the comedy perfect. And I feel like beneath the comedy, there's just a story that explores childhood innocence, a loss of childhood innocence, and the bittersweet reality of growing up. There are so many iconic scenes in this movie. I have probably shown them already, but there's the piano scene, which is like instantly recognizable. I've never watched this movie, but I knew that scene. I was like, hey, this is like a feel-good moment. And as I was watching it, I had a massive smile on my face. It made me feel good. It made me feel really good. And I feel like the director Penny Marshall's direction just keeps the film warm and whimsical and grounded and just avoids becoming too gimmicky. Again, the director just gets it. The music is incredible, and as I mentioned earlier, the pacing, there's a well-balanced mix of comedic beats and quieter, more reflective moments, and this film never drags. And I'm telling you, if I didn't watch the 2-hour-long version and I watched the hour and 45 version, this would have flown by even more. 100%. And if I was to kind of critique anything about this movie, I just feel like the romantic subplot of this movie, I just wasn't entirely sold on. Every single time I watched Tom Hanks kind of make out with an adult, I was like, that's meant to be like a 13-year-old making out with a 35-year-old. Just it came back into my mind every single time, and I was like, maybe a different subplot. But I feel like a romantic subplot is just the safe thing in a movie like this, and it worked. You know, the relationships on screen were believable, but just that thought kept coming back to me, being like, hey, by the way, they're children. Oh, not they. Tom Hanks is a child, don't forget. And overall, I just feel like this is a charming, funny, and a heartfelt film elevated by Tom Hanks' performance. This is both a classic comedy and an extremely touching coming-of-age story. I had such a good time with this movie. If you can't tell, Andrew Garfield, you have taste. And I only watched 1 out of the 4 movies, so who knows what the other 3 films hold. But if you want, maybe I'll watch the rest of his favorite movies. Just please let me know. But Big was a really good time. But I feel like that's everything I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have you ever watched Big? What did you think of this movie? Please let me know. And what celebrity's favorite movie should I watch next? Subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.